On this episode, we're diving into all the entertainment aboard the Disney Destiny, from the Broadway-style stage shows and lounges to trivia, deck parties, game shows, live music, and everything in between. Plus, we'll talk about Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Today's May 8th, 2026, and this is episode 869 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So we're going to finish up for y'all today, I guess kind of a special episode / kind of making sure you get all these episodes we keep telling you we're going to give you. So we're going to finish up the Destiny today.
It's over.
And
now it's officially over.
It is. And we're almost done with our projects. You go to Rockville with Kaylin. Kaylin's last day of, I want to say school, but she's going to college.
Right.
So I don't know,
it's her last day of regular school, of easy school. I'm only gonna say easy school because I don't know if she understands yet what she's in store for and what going to college.
Yeah, because what she wants to do is forensics.
Yeah.
So
we'll that's see. Why I'll say that. But this this ends our
Mother's
vacation.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah,
to
happy
all
Mother's
the mothers.
Day. I will be rocking out with tens of thousands of my favorite people.
Yes. Which I will be with my mommy and my daddy and my baby, Lacey. And we're going to, she's still my baby. She's going to be 45 years old one day, just like, not me because I'm not the baby, but she'll still be my baby at 45.
Oh, I know. All right, let's do this thing because we got more to do. So let's get into it. So today, if you go back 2 episodes ago, we talked about tips, tricks, our first impressions of the Disney Destiny. Last episode, we talked all about dining. We went through every single restaurant. We included Enchante. We talked about Palo Steakhouse. We talked about Alessandro. Today, we are going to focus on the entertainment as well as Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point.
Yes.
So I want to lead this off with saying we had a tip from our wonderful travel advisor, Amy, with MEI Travel, who had heard from our good friends, Jim and Connie, when they all did the Destiny to do the free hour-long tour that is on board. We had done this back during the Wish 4 years ago. And so we were like, yeah, we definitely want to do that. Like, I love to see kind of, some of learn about the ship, learn some of the little tips, tricks, Easter eggs, things like that. So what we were unaware of is that this did not show up in the daily activity guide.
No, it did not.
You have to go through as though you were in the Navigator app, like you were booking an excursion, extra dining experience, something like, Hook's Barbary. We do have to talk about that in the massage. I don't have them on our list, but we'll end with those is what we'll do. So let's not forget about that.
Okay.
And you have to go in there and you have to look for the tour. And there are several of them. We didn't find it until Thursday of our cruise in the Navigator app, and we were still able to get a 10 a.m. on Friday,
which was wonderful.
Yeah, it's so great. It's an hour long. I loved this
Darrell,
thing.
we got
Yeah, we
Darrell.
got Darrell, who was actually on the Wish when we were on the Wish.
Yes.
Which was pretty cool. But they take you through several sections of the ship. They explain things like the Grand Hall and where the design and the details around Wakanda and Black Panther come from. He takes you through all of this artwork, points out like you go to Cafe Megara and he and Merida, and it'll be like, hey, this is why this is there, and this is there, and this is like all these
I think
tiny
the
Imagineering.
Merida was really cool because of the wisp,
Oh,
the
yeah.
lights, the way
Yeah.
that they dance. I was like, oh
there's
my God.
so many tiny details
So cool.
in all the paintings that are in the art that are aboard, and with as much detail as they put into this 1 hour, if you were to do this throughout the entire ship, it would be like a 3-day long tour because that's how much detail there is.
I agree.
And it's one of those things where Imagineering didn't leave anything out.
No.
Every detail is there. Everything on the ship has a reason. There's a lot of things that were created specifically for the ship, which I think are super cool, especially a lot of the Wakandan artwork. When you get back into the, it's not just adults only, but really the bar and lounge section around Saga and where Cask and Cannon is and Triton's Lounge and all. So just really, really cool stuff. Highly recommend you do it. We were kind of having the discussion on the ship, Rhonda and I, so we can have it again real quick. Would you rather, no, we did it on the last day. Would you have rather done it the first day or the last day?
No, I actually think I'm happy we did it the last day.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I got to see a bunch of things already. And then when I already saw it and then it was pointed out to me, the differences and stuff or what it is and all the points and details. That's what I'm trying to say. All the details. I think I am happy that we did it the very last day.
Yeah. I tend to agree.
So.
I think it was neat just to enjoy the ship as is. And like
Yeah.
you said, you kind of see these things. You're like, I wonder what that's about. I wonder what that's about.
Right.
And then you get to learn at the end.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe giving being provided the answers to the test at the beginning.
Yeah.
You kind of got them at the end
Yeah.
to see if you were right. So I
Yeah.
highly recommend this tour though. Little ones will probably get bored.
Oh, 100%.
So, put them in one of the kids clubs if you have them, or if you got, grandparents or somebody there that can watch them. You do get headsets, so it is very easy to hear.
Yeah.
But like even going through the Pride Lands restaurant, is where
yeah,
we
that was
learned a
cool.
lot about those that we mentioned, like the hand-carved wooden art on the walls. And, we actually got a chance to kind of look out the window and look down and see Spider-Man
That I
and
was
the
excited.
Spider bots.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
Which was
because
super cool.
I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, learn more about them. Points out lots of hidden Mickeys. Highly, highly recommend. All right, let's start with the first bit of true entertainment on embarkation day is the sail away party. It is up on the pool deck.
Yeah.
You can get a good spot right there on the pool deck, or you can get it on, I guess it would be deck 12, which, wraps around. This is fun. I mean, but for me, this is all about kicking the trip off. Like it's in theory, it's something you could miss and you're not really missing a lot, except for
I
the
agree.
fact
I
that
agree.
it is the true kickoff, and I think that's what makes it so important. Get there a little bit early. It was roughly 4:00. No, this one was later, wasn't it? Around 6. Was this before my beer trim or after?
No, this was around 4 because my daddy was trying to download the Navigator app for my mom.
That's right.
And we hadn't, even though we were doing the sail away party, we didn't start leaving and moving, I want to say, till about 4:30, 4:40. Because
right at the end of it.
Yeah, well, because they did the horn, which is
Yes.
super,
Yep.
super cool.
That's truly your
Yeah.
cruise has started.
Super cool. And then, yeah, because crazy enough, and I know we talked about this in the very first one, we actually already unpacked and everything
I
at
know.
this point. So yeah, and then you had your beard trim after that.
Yeah, at 5 p.m.
So that's what we were doing, and I wanted to kind of stand around. So yeah, we were leaving between 4:30 and 4:45, and started to actually like push off or however you call it. Because then you were going to go, but I wanted to stand on a deck and kind of watch us leave the city.
Yeah.
And see if you could see anything
Yeah.
and see just how pretty the water was / any other boats are going with us and all the above.
And the maneuvers, because what blows my mind, like it's one of those things when if you've never been to a cruise port, you get there and you go, look at the size of these ships, look at all these ships. That's where they got to leave. We're facing the wrong direction. How do we do that? And it's just kind of amazing.
It's still amazing, and going back to all that, and then like not the tour, but kind of the tour when he was talking about Wakanda and how heavy it is. I think it still blows my mind that you can look at these giant ships, and they're heavy.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How do they float on the water?
That science and engineering blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
The same way I've never once been on a flight. And every single time I'm sitting there and I just look out the window and I just go, how?
Oh, I don't try to think about that as much as like.
But you're in a vehicle in the air.
A vehicle
30 to 40,
air.
50, whatever, 1,000 feet. And you're just flying. And everybody on the plane is just like, this is pretty normal. It's not normal. That is amazing. Okay. And so is a boat.
A boat is just truly
like I get how a small boat floats. You know what I mean? Like the little one I play with in my bathtub every night with my bubbles. Like that one I get. Rubber duckies, I understand. I don't understand how this thing weighing all these tons filled with 4,000 people and like how does that thing stay afloat? It blows my mind. So anyway, what I love to do as soon as the sail away party is done, if you have a veranda, go down to it and kind of watch you leave the port the rest of the way from the veranda, which I think is super cool. Also up there, I want you to touch real quick, wasn't in our notes, but talk about the photo package because we did the photo package this time.
Oh, yeah.
And this was kind of our first.
If it was worth it.
Yes. And this was kind of our first chance to get to use it because they have photographers PhotoPass folks walking all around, including during the sail away party.
Yes, and it truly starts when you are getting on board and they have all those pictures. And some people just pass, like we've passed before.
Sure.
But I had the package, so I was like, no, we're doing this. Yeah. So we got one, and you just, we wear a magic band. So it is just like in the parks, guys, where, they scan your magic band, you ask, and you get the pictures. I did get a lot of my parents with us, which was really good. They did not get a photo package. Yeah. But they do recommend, from what I saw, that it is a person, one in your stateroom.
Yes. How much was the photo package? But again,
this was about $245.
Yeah, $245.
Yes. Now again, it is for 5 days, and like I said, or like Jeremy just said,
it's $50 a day. When you break it down like that, that's not bad at all.
No, you're
$245 right. Seems like a lot because that's what I thought when I saw it, and I was like, "You paid what now?" But when you really break it down to $50 a day, that's really good. Now,
I didn't realize that, but I was like, I'm doing it, period.
Oh,
because I wanted to. This is 20 years of marriage for me and you.
Yep.
This is 50 for my parents. I hate the age that we're getting because you just never know. And I don't know if this is the last, and I hope it's not, but you never know. So with all that being said,
got morbid real quick.
Sorry.
Save that for Haunted Mansion Parlor. No, let me talk about the staterooms and attaching because I will say they are pretty strict. So a couple things. One, there are PhotoPass photographers in a lot of locations, which is wonderful. I mean, there were a couple opportunities, pirate night up on the deck, the sail away party, some other things like that. The big, the time you're going to use this most is every single day, evening, afternoon, evening. There's a couple times in the Grand Hall. They're going to have several photo spot places set up, and they're all going to be themed.
Yep.
So, for example, one night was all villains. One night was all the pirate stuff because it was pirate night. One was like a general, I think, cruise night. There's one type there was a Spider-Man opportunity.
Yep.
Where you could look like you were shooting
done
webs
that.
and all. There was one with lightsaber. So there's all these opportunities each night. Now with the staterooms, we easily got all of the photos that we were in with Rhonda's parents. Mm-hmm. Now, when it was just Rhonda's parents, they did not have the photo package attached to their stateroom. Therefore, they were not going to get those.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can go through, just like PhotoPass at the parks, you can go through, you can take all the photos you want. And then at the end, you can go and say, hey, I'd like to buy this one or this one or whatever. But with the photo package, everything shows up in the Navigator app. Not only there, but you can view them from your TV.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's one of those things. I really like some of the things that they do with the TV that I wish they would implement at Walt Disney World. It is time to get an upgrade to those TV systems at Walt Disney World. I remember years and years and years ago when a good friend of mine was working on a proposal with his company at the time because Disney was going to redo all of their resort TVs. And he looked at me and was like, hey, do you have ideas? Because none of us are Disney folks that work here. And I said, yeah. And one of those was that your PhotoPass photos would show up in your room TV. And so the fact that they do here, I absolutely love. And I'm going to right now take full credit for it. And I would like my money, Disney. No, but I just think it's such a good idea to do it that way. Now
They were all over, well, not all over, but they were on lookout.
Yes, they were all
too,
over, which was amazing. I thought that was amazing. That was super cool. We got shots on the beach of Rhonda and I, toes in water, not much more because it was freezing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've got one of our favorite pictures where we're back to back, but we're kind of looking at each other laughing. And
because he told us, and we're just laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was funny.
We can be awkward in photos in the sense when they're stuff like, oh, kiss, look into each other's eyes lovingly. And we just laugh because we think it's funny. Because we're just not really that kind of couple. Like the lovey-dovey in that sense. Like I don't know that we want the photos of us looking lovingly into each other's eyes because it's not us. So we laugh and we get much better photos, right?
Yeah,
do you
sure.
think? Do you think the photo package was worth it?
Absolutely. I didn't realize when you just broke it down like that, $50
$50 a day is nothing on a cruise at this point.
I agree, and I didn't realize that. $245, up front or / when you see it all at once.
Yeah,
it is kind of expensive, especially when you have all year as a pass holder for only $100.
I know. God, that's really mind-blowing when you break it down.
It is. So with that being said, though, I would not do it every time.
No.
Or would you now?
I'll say day one, I thought it was too expensive and it wasn't a great idea. Day 5, I could see doing this every time.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was great because here's what happens. A lot of the time now, the $99 at Disney World, we don't take enough PhotoPass photos at Disney World. We go so often that a lot of times you're like, you want to get a PhotoPass? There's 2 people in line. No, you know what I mean? It's got to be no one for us to get one and we get some ride photo. But we don't do enough. We really take it for granted, and at only $100 for an entire year is insane. So we don't. But here, it really forces you to capture those moments.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many photos we would have from the cruise that weren't of food or paintings or a show happening of just us.
We wouldn't.
Otherwise,
we wouldn't have.
So
because we barely did,
right.
And I'm I remember at one point Jeremy was going through the pictures because we were showing the kids, and I wanted to show them.
Yeah, they loved that.
That
guy came home listen, when everyone to sit down on the couch. I'm gonna cast this up to the TV.
Yeah.
One of their friends was here and she got to leave halfway through. I'm like, you're gonna miss the rest of the show. She was like, I'll live.
But I did. I wanted my girls, to see my pirate night outfit because I was kind of proud of it, and I felt very pretty and fun. And I was like, do I look okay? Did I do good? And again, that was the only picture of me in the full outfit was because I got the photo package and the photo pass.
Yes.
So,
and shout out to Priscilla, our favorite photo pass photographer.
Well, thank God for my silly, weird mom, because that's what happened. She was though. Priscilla was amazing.
She was so awesome.
She fell in love with my mom and laughed so much that we just sought her out every time.
And she sought us out.
She
looked for us. They were setting up for the one night, and she was right by the staircase in the grand hall. You guys were coming down. You were meeting me there, and I was just kind of watching whatever was happening on the grand hall stage. And she looks over at me because there was a photo one there too. And she looks over at me and saw me and was like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to come to me first." And I was like, "I'm not in line. I'm waiting on everybody else." So it was funny. She was great though.
She was.
And that's one of the things that I love so much about a cruise. And I'm kind of realizing it now. We've always said, like, man, if you think the cast members in Disney World are great, they're just incredible, this and that on the cruise, and they are. But what I think sets them apart is that you see the same ones day after day. You don't in Walt Disney World. You could easily go on, we tend to go now to say a Thursday to a Sunday at Disney World. And on Thursday, we could encounter an incredible cast member working and be like, this is great. I love this person. Can't wait to see him again. And then they're off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Or
they're not off here.
You could ride Small World how many times? 17?
17 in one day.
And I feel like not see the same cast member, I feel like twice.
Right.
They rotate.
They rotate so much.
Much.
Or you only see that same cast member because you go on the first time and they're at the entrance at the turnstile. The next time they're like 30 feet down. The next time they're loading a boat.
Yeah, but shockingly on Small World, we did not come across a cast member doing that.
That is true.
They were like, okay, what are you doing?
We've seen you 17 times today.
Right.
Are you blink twice if you're in trouble? Is someone holding you hostage? But I kind of realized that is because, you get to see Priscilla every day because she's there working every day in the same spots.
Yep.
You encounter incredible photo pass photographer at Walt Disney World, and you'd almost have to be like, can I get your schedule? Because you may not see them the next day. Yeah. And so I think that's what really sets them apart.
And don't ask for that.
Same thing with Darrell, right? Or Jordan. Right, Jordan was the main host.
I loved him.
In all of the themed or the games
18
and
older. I feel
stuff.
like more or less.
So you see these same folks every single day. You kind of get to know them, especially on a longer cruise.
And I think that's what it's so funny because when they do start to talk about embarkation, whichever
de-embarkation day
when you leave.
Yes.
Okay.
I just call it sad day.
Well, that's what they do too. And they're like, we've gotten to know some of you. And it is funny because, there was a guy, Chris, on the boat that, the cast members called out a couple of times.
We'll get to Chris.
They got to know him. But it is. And I think it is. You just kind of form sometimes little friendships.
But you're right about the people, for example, not just the cast members, but the people. We noticed that, of course, on the Magic because we did all of the trivias with our group. You start to see the same people, and then all of a sudden you're going, "Hey, you guys going to trivia at 4? Yeah, we'll see you there." Because as many people as there are, and as big as the boat is, it is a fraction of the size of being at Walt Disney World.
100%.
And so you do see the same people over and over. And if you have similar tastes, you end up at similar places. Your Pirate Night outfit was awesome. Let's talk about Pirate Night. What is it? When is it? And should people take advantage of it? I know we talked about the dining, that Pirate Night will have the same menu at whatever your rotational restaurant is for that evening.
Yeah, so that doesn't matter. You can do it or not do it. But what is most important is, for me, is to, so on other cruises and stuff, they have what's called a captain's night, which is usually formal. Or some, people like men will actually do tuxes. Yeah. Women will do long formal dresses.
Other cruises as in other cruise lines.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And others, will do, and other women will do, cocktail formal, which are short. But anyways, Disney Cruise Line doesn't have captains or formal nights. They have pirate night.
So much better.
Oh, I love it. So dress up like a pirate. If you're take the time to put into dressing up informal, get some pirate stuff, man. This year we went to Disney, as we told you in one of the episodes, to actually get Red's outfit to possibly use for Halloween. That did not happen, but I did get a Pirate of the Caribbean jean jacket.
Mm-hmm. And I got the matching shirt.
And you got the matching shirt. I wore a tan tank underneath, and then had this black skirt that I found, and I don't know where it came from, whose it is. It was in our costume bin.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely perfect. I think it's a skirt that they kind of call, I can't remember if they call it an hourglass but it's shorter in the front and longer in the back. And then I wore some boots. And then every stateroom they will give you, I do too, they will have on your bed laying before you go to dinner, a Mickey pirate bandana.
Yeah.
You can put it anywhere, on your arm, on your head. I still had my ears from the first cruise that we went on with the Wish, and I put it on my head because my hair was very large that night, and then I put the ears on my head, and it's just awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And you'll see everything from people not dressed up at all, which I wouldn't suggest, to somebody just wearing a Pirates of the Caribbean shirt or a regular pirate shirt, all the way to, I mean, full costume.
Looking like
we saw one couple.
Oh my God.
That were just decked out. Looked absolutely incredible.
When
we
I
shared
say
the elevator with them,
yeah.
and we saw them at a adults only thing that night.
And when I
it's
say
super cool.
head to toe, full costume that, I mean, you would see them walking around St. Augustine that.
Oh yeah, or the Halloween party.
Yeah.
But St. Augustine has a very big pirate culture to it. So, and then that evening you want to get up on the pool deck or the 12th deck that surrounds it for their pirate rockin' party.
Yes.
That night.
And the most
Red's
important,
going to be there.
Yep.
They've got the band playing. I mean, it is so much fun. And then it ends off with the most incredible thing ever.
Fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks at sea. The only cruise line that is allowed to shoot off fireworks at sea. Mm-hmm. And what's so funny is you will look around and you will see the lights from so many other boats surrounding because they want to be like, hey, let's take advantage of these fireworks. Yep. We're not allowed to do them.
Right.
But there's nothing like it.
And if y'all are thinking, well, that goes into the water with the fishes.
I was thinking that, Rhonda.
You were?
Yeah, I was.
Well, what happens when they fall into the ocean?
It's all made of biodegradable and fish food stuff. So literally it feeds the fishes.
Yes.
So they're not just littering the water every night. It's so cool. I highly recommend you take advantage of not only dressing up. If you want to go to dinner, go to dinner. I remember being on the Magic, and the night before we told our server, hey, and that's one thing we didn't really talk about with the dining episode. Let your server know if you're going to miss a meal. I mean, it's just good to let them know, and then they don't worry about you. They'll think, oh, great, the Stein family fell overboard. But I got to go on with my night. But I remember on the one night they were having crab cakes. It was going to be during Pirate Night because we got to look at the menu. And the night before, we're like, oh, we're not going to make it tomorrow night to Pirate Night. We're doing something else for dinner. And our server was like, well, if you want something, I'll just have it sent to your room. I'll take your order now and you tell me.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So that is a possibility. We didn't do that this year, but that is something you could do. But go enjoy it if you want. Get dressed up. Go to take the photos in the Grand Hall. Whether you have purchased the package or you want to look at them after, or you ask them to use your iPhone or whatever, go ahead and do that. Go make sure you get a good spot up on the deck. Although really any spot is kind of a good spot for the show. But we really liked being on deck 12.
Yeah, we did.
Opposite side of where they let the fireworks off. And you're looking up over the Aqua Mouse and getting to look at the fireworks, and it's incredible.
We have to talk about that too.
Let's talk about the Aqua Mouse pool decks.
I started to say, did you want me to tell you the Pirate Night? If you do night, a 3-night cruise, it's usually on night 2. If you're 4-night cruise, it's usually night 3. So basically, and a 5-night is either often night 3 or 4, and 7 is frequently night 4. But it sounds like it's almost like close to the last day. So
and I really liked the 5-night cruise
I did
because
too.
we had it on night 4, which means that we got each of the 3 rotational dinings done.
Yeah.
And then that 4th night was pirate night.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about Aquamouse. Let's talk about pool deck. I know we mentioned that the adults only area was closed for our trip, except for the hot tub, which we did have a chance to get in once, and did not know that we were sharing the hot tub with a cast member at one point, who we later spotted dressed up as a crew member.
Yeah, and he was, I believe, taking pictures.
Yeah, he was a PhotoPass photographer. Pools are busy.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very busy. They're very, very small. There is a lot of space really on the pool deck.
Yeah.
But, don't hold chairs.
Yeah.
Don't get up there at 7 a.m. and put towels on 20 chairs or anything, man. Just get up there, get your spot, whatever. A good time to spend on the pool deck area is the day you're at port at Nassau in this example.
Yeah.
Again, we don't get off the ship in Nassau. That's our choice. But one of the reasons is that's the day we spent the most time lounging up on the pool deck. Ron and I actually got in this big, what would you call that thing? The big padded up on the adults area. Like, I think I fell asleep.
I did.
I know you did.
It was
everybody knows you
amazing.
did, but I think I even did. It's like this big padded lay down lounger that spins 360 degrees, first of all, which will catch you off guard when you first sit on it. But just, it's super chill. There's some wonderful kids areas. And of course there is the Aquamouse, the onboard water coaster.
Yes.
That functions sparingly.
This
is one of those things Disney needs to really get a team on, because it's been the same on every cruise we've been on that has this. The uptime is like 60%, I feel like.
Well, it was hard because our a lot of people, when I would tell them, my clients would go, well, how was the water and the seas and the
Freezing.
And the wind?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm like, actually, like, everything was good. Like, the waves weren't crazy, but the wind was really, really rough slash a lot most of, unfortunately, the time. But with that being said, with the Aquamouse, so this is a tube ride, I'm trying to think what, besides if you've been if you've been to Universal.
Volcano Bay. Yeah, Volcano Bay, it's like Krakatoa.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I feel
it's
like
a front
I can...
back sitting. You can do 1 or 2 people depending on the wind and weather.
And that's what I was just going to say. So sometimes it wasn't closed due to weather, but it would say you had to do double riders because of wind. Yep. I do not understand that, but
it's a weight issue. The one area where it's open, they don't want the wind just picking you up.
Would it
Next thing you know, Rhonda's in the ocean. Thank God she's got a raft. Yeah, at least she has a raft. But there she goes. Little tiny Rhonda just flew right out of the Aquamouth, because there is a small area where it is not enclosed.
Right.
But these things are, I love this, these water coasters, and what Disney does that sets them apart from everybody else is on the incline, the initial incline that you're going to go up, there are TV screens.
That's amazing.
And it uses the Mickey shorts, the modern Mickey cartoons to tell a story. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is it's not the exact same every time you go. Not. There's multiple scenes. There's reasons. It's really 4D in the sense that, well, I guess there's not the third D.
Right.
It's
3D.
Yeah, it's 3D, but
you're watching TV and you get wet.
But then you get wet. Like, literally something will happen on the screen where there's a splash and it sprays you with water.
Correct.
And then you go up, you go through an enclosed dark tube, you kind of come out, and then you go through a clear tube and you end. It's a short ride, but it is so much fun.
So much fun.
Just the issue is there's a lot of sensors. There's a lot going on. So, like, we were in line once for, probably almost 30 minutes.
Oh,
we saw a poor ridiculous. Dad and his son try 3 times.
Yeah.
And what we overheard from crew members, cast members, were that some kids were kind of rocking the raft back and forth, which tripped sensors, and they had to pull everybody off and wait and reset everything and all of this. So that part's kind of a pain, but safety first.
Especially because they don't care. Like, as long as you're tall enough, you can ride it. So if all the kids are up there. So when there was a bunch of kids with no parents, I wanted to be like, don't rock the boat. Just ride it.
Yeah, and honestly, the wind was rocking it enough. I don't think I told this when we were coming, our first night at Worlds of Marvel. We finished eating, and I had to go back to the room before everyone else. And I was trying to leave, and I'm getting ready to walk out the long hallway, and the ship was swaying. I won't call it rocking. I'll call it swaying enough where there was a lady in front of me. I just wanted to get to the room. I had to go to the bathroom, everyone. And I just wanted to get to the room, and the lady in front of me is walking, and I don't even think she realized it because it was swaying enough. She just kept moving back and forth. You know, like, you know, when you encounter someone face to face and you both go left, or
it's
you
like
both,
a dance.
You know, yeah, it's like a dance.
You want to dance?
She was doing that, but I don't think she knew she was dancing. So I would go right and she would sway to the right, and then I would try, but I got to get around her. I'd go left, she'd sway to the left. So you could definitely feel it, but yeah, I love the Aqua Mouse. Make sure you do it.
It was amazing.
It's so much
fun.
fun.
My mommy did it.
Yeah.
I was so proud.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And she enjoyed it.
She did.
Yep.
It was so fun. I'm glad we did it a couple of times because that's where we learned that it is not the same every time.
Yes. Yeah, definitely do it multiple times.
Yeah, which is really, really cool.
And, you know, it's worth the wait. One thing you do want to do is
Yeah.
when it is shut down, maybe stay a little bit nearby, because
Yeah.
as soon as it opens, you do want to get in that line,
Yeah.
because sometimes the line can get pretty long, but it's worth sitting there for 25, 30 minutes,
Yeah,
I
it is.
think. All right, let's talk about the bars and lounges. Of course, at all these bars and lounges, you can get a ridiculous array, full bars, alcoholic beverages, beers, wines, cocktails. A lot have specialty cocktails at each of them that will come with cool things, like a show. Like Cask and Cannon, for example, has this drink for two where they bring it out in a treasure chest and open it, and smoke comes out, and there's gold doubloons inside, the little chocolate candies that you can keep, and you have your drinks. Haunted Mansion Parlor has a ton of very, very cool vessels to drink out of, and of course drinks and all. But for us now, if you want to hear about all of the alcohol, you can go back and listen to our Wish episode from 4 years ago. But I do want to talk about the zero proof options, because Disney Cruise Line is doing such an incredible job of zero proof offerings.
Yes.
And non-alcoholic that are not just mocktails. And I wish it's something that would come into the parks. I don't know. You know, that, as we see an increase in people that are abstaining from alcohol for one reason or another, whether it's just that trip, just that one part of time of day, completely sober like me, whatever. It's cool to see these options. So I just want to run through some of them real quick, because you can get everything from Spicy Marys using Liar's Agave Blanco. They on here, for the first time I've seen in any location, they have sparkling wines and regular red and white wines that are non-alcoholic. So you have like a Bottega Zero Rosé. You've got a white, you've got a red. Missing Thorn is the one who produces these. You've got a sparkling white. You can get these by the glass or the bottle. So I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of these on board, but they do have them mixed into some other options. They got things, I know you got at one point, the No Way Frosé. All these are priced usually about $9 to $10 or $11. That includes the Bottega Zero Rosé, strawberries, and Liar's Italian Orange. You enjoyed that?
Yes, it
right?
did.
Very good, refreshing.
Yeah.
They've got a Spirit of Kentucky that I had, which is the Free Spirits Bourbon, Liar's Italian Orange, fresh lime. This is not going to fool anyone into thinking this is real bourbon or real old fashioned, but it for me personally, and I know that non-alcoholic and zero proof beverages can be a slippery slope for a lot of people in recovery. And it can be dependent on the person. For me, they've been a tool. They are something that when I'm really craving that alcoholic beverage, they fill it. They don't push me over where I think I want more and I want the real thing. That works for me. I know it doesn't work for everyone. You know yourself if you are sober, in recovery, whatever it may be. But this is the type, I maybe had 2 or 3 of these total throughout a 5-night. You know, it's not like I'm sitting in Cask and Cannon pounding these left and right.
Right.
I'm just saying, you know what? I'm watching these guys get their cool drink with the treasure chest, and I kind of just want something that isn't a fruit juice or a soda or a water.
Right.
They've got a La Paloma there. For aperitifs, they have this new in fashion that I had, which is Free Spirits Bourbon, Bourbon Barrel Matured Maple, and Smoked Sugar. They've got Il Conte, which is the one that you had at Enchanté. This is Liar's Aperitif Rosso, Liar's Italian Spritz, and a Brunswick Aces Spades.
They have a salted espresso.
Yes, they do. You have the salted espresso.
Had that at, the
Cask and Cannon. That's Liar's Spice Cane, Liar's Coffee, Lily Espresso, Monin Salted Caramel. And then I was happy to see they don't just have Heineken Zero. They have Blue Moon, non-alcoholic as well. I did have one of those one night in Saga. So nice. It's really nice to see these options. This is available at most bars and lounges throughout the ship. Yeah. At the Rose, at Enchanté, at Palo. Ask. You often do have to ask for this menu. All right, let's talk first about Saga and the Grand Hall type entertainment. Grand Hall Entertainment is going to have several kind of shows throughout. You're going to get a lot of villains here. Like I caught wind of a Loki kind of little show that was happening right there on the Grand Hall deck.
Oh, yeah.
This is where a lot of character meet and greets are going to occur as well.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Saga, the 2-story entertainment area that is in the back of the ship there in the aft. This is going to take, I think it was deck 3 and 4. I think this one was. It's 3, 4, 5 are the main kind of entertainments. Yeah. I believe this was on deck 3, 4.
I think.
And this is where a lot of stuff is going to happen. This is where a lot of the adults only stuff will happen.
Yes.
What I really enjoyed, and I could be completely wrong from our past 2 cruises, I felt like on the other cruises, the majority of the adults only entertainment was kind of after hours at night. This actually had some like sprinkled throughout the day.
Yeah. I think the funniest part is Jordan would see.
He hosts most of these.
That kids would and maybe
they try to sneak in.
He'd be like, go, get out of here. And I'm like, oh my goodness. He was just amazing.
Jordan was the best. He was so good. And that's the other thing, these folks' attention to detail and whatever systems they use to remember people blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a ton of interactions with Jordan, but they give you this impression of every time they see you, they know you and remember you.
Yeah.
And it's just so good. And the 18 plus stuff, well, there's one that is a reason it's 18 plus. Mm-hmm. Everything else isn't 18 plus because it's spicy or dirty. It's 18 plus because sometimes you want to get away from the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the reason. So sometimes they are simple trivias or game shows or whatever. It's not dirty trivia. It's regular Disney, Marvel, Pixar, whatever trivia. It's just 18 and plus only so that you don't have the kids there, which I love that they're doing. And I was glad to see some of those throughout the day.
Yeah.
One of the shows I caught on the first night after Rhonda decided to go to bed was Match Your Mate.
Yeah.
And I saw this hosted by Jordan in Saga. And this is basically the newlywed game. Mm-hmm. So they asked for 3 couples to come up. I think I would have made us raise our hands if you had been there with me.
Oh, but thank God I was.
Once we got through the questions, we would have done poorly because I just think we have a very interesting and unique relationship and marriage. But they'll ask for someone that's pretty new. And so they had a couple come up that I think was 2 or 3 years married. They'll ask for somebody that is in the mid-range, and they had a couple come up like that I think, like us, and they had a couple come up I think maybe had 15 years or so, and then they had a couple come up that had like 40 years. So they'll kind of get those mid-ranges, and there's going to be 3 questions for husbands, for wives. So they're going to ask the husbands first. The wives are going to go in the back in a soundproof room. You get a drink back there, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. They'll give you for participating. They ask the husbands the questions. Then they bring the wives out, ask them, see if they match up. The role. Then they do it the other way around. That was the night that the cruise got to meet, I think, Chris and Violet, who then showed up they were at everything.
Yeah.
And all 3 of these couples were hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, and this one is definitely 18 plus for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not 18 plus because of the questions that Jordan asks. It's 18 plus because of the answers they give.
Yeah.
Like one of the questions I don't feel like needed to go in the direction that they all went in, but it did. And there definitely should not have been children there.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. We'd see Chris everywhere around. We saw him at DeVille's on the last day. He was very fond of your tattoos in a way that I'm not allowed to repeat on a family show. I can say, wow, your tattoos are, and then the next 2 words, you can text me or message me, and I might tell you what they are. I might have to see proof of ID first, but
I know.
Another one that you and I did in there was the Minority Minds. Do you want to talk about that? I'm not wearing the hat today, but we do have some hats.
That was really cool
Yeah.
because I was just, I think I was just blown away. This was the last night, and when we were wanting to do everything, then the 18 and up area, it was funny because Jordan had this giant table, and he was like, "Listen, I'm getting rid of everything tonight."
Yeah. Lots of swag.
Yeah. So
As the Beebs would call it.
Okay. I was very excited because at this point, like, we did some trivia, but we unfortunately have not come close to winning anything at all.
Let me say this about trivia, because we did very well when we had our group, because we had a very, when it was you and I and like Chuck and Amy and Liv and her girl, like,
Yeah.
we had a good group because we had a wealth of knowledge of different topics.
Right.
If you want to succeed at trivia, know the classics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that shows up, like The Rescuers, like Aristocats, things that we're just not as familiar with a lot of the classic Disney movies in that way to answer some of these trivia. So
I knew
those.
some of them.
Yeah. But for the most part, you did know some of them. But for the most part, out of 20 points, you and I were averaging still between 14 and 18.
Yeah.
But you pretty much got to get 19, 20
Yeah.
in most of these trivias if you want to win.
And then there's still a tiebreaker.
And there's still a tiebreaker. Yeah. So, and what do you win?
Medals, like
Yeah.
little plastic
Rubber medals.
not plastic.
But some of them will
Super
have
cute.
Chippendale, some have Donald, some have Mickey, Minnie, so you can
and
kind
some
of
just
collect
have
them.
a regular
cruise line thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so this
Minority Minds, yeah.
was a game, and I don't know if you know what it's like, but it is an actual game that you pick your answer to not what you think, but what you think everybody else thinks.
What the majority thinks.
Right.
Do
So
we keep saying majority minds. We
Okay.
said minority.
well,
Yeah,
I didn't mean
majority
The majority
minds is what it's called.
Yeah. So
So
what the
it's been a
majority
long week.
thinks.
Yes.
So like he says, what is the favorite? What is the best? No, not favorite. What is the best park?
Yeah. What is
in
the best Disney park?
in
No, he just said what is the
Walt-
what is the best Disney park?
Okay. He did say,
Like
okay.
you had someone who answered Walt Disney World.
Right.
You're like, no, listen, man.
And everybody that, and I put Magic Kingdom and, Jeremy's agreeing and I'm like, Magic Kingdom. Right. Yeah, sure. So, and then of course that was what everybody, the majority picked. So we're going through this whole thing and we're doing really well.
Like, really well. We got like the first 13 correct.
Right. And then we got to the last couple and I think we only missed
the last 2 out of 3.
Out of
I think there
all
were
of them.
15 total and we got 13 of them correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we only missed 2. And I'm still thinking somebody's always
Somebody's
outbeating
perfect.
us. Somebody's so
There were at least
there was a lot.
I bet there were close to 20 teams.
I would agree with
Yeah.
that. And maybe you're maybe underestimating because
Yeah. Now, to our advantage, most of those teams were probably drunk. So I don't know if that's part of the reason that we won. That's our
I
new.
don't know. But it was funny because when you wrote on the paper, he gave you a number. So we didn't have a team name or anything. You just had a number because that's how it did well. And
we were 15, so we know there were at least 15 teams.
yeah,
right?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was started 1, 2.
I think
3,
I think he handed them out in order. So I
Well-
think there were at least 15,
Yeah.
and we weren't the last team.
No,
to
but
end,
it was
so.
funny because they were getting ready to say, and I'm thinking, and he says, "In the winning number is 15," and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's us!"
So you we looked at it, we're like, wait, that's us. Are you sure?
I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yay!" And so instead of the table, he also had 4 Disney Cruise Line hats.
Like nice hats. Like you
Oh,
pay
100%.
$30 for these
Yes.
probably each.
Yeah.
And and they had 4 of them. There were
Which
only
was
2 of us. He's like,
super funny.
just
He
take
was-
all 4.
Yeah. And that was super
Yeah.
funny, which I was like, oh, I can give 2 to my parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though they weren't here because they were in bed.
Right.
But it was awesome. And I was like, oh, yeah, we did
But
win.
take
something.
advantage of these. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
there's a great family game show that happens in Triton's Lounge. Back on the Wish, Rhonda and Lacey participated. Again, it's that
We
same
watched
concept.
that.
Yeah, we watched one of the. It's the same concept in theory as the Newlywed Game.
With children.
It's a dad and
Yeah.
a daughter. In your case, it was a mom and a daughter, but they have different scenarios, I guess, or combinations you can use. And again, it's ask a question to the dad, what he thinks the daughter's answer is. He writes it down. They show it. It's funny. Even if you don't think you're going to participate in it, go check them out. Like, mark these in your Navigator app. Check them out. If you think you know 2000s music really well, you better go learn the years.
Yeah.
Because we'd have won that night if it weren't for the years.
Yeah.
They literally play.
did amazing.
They play 1 to 2 seconds of a song. And
But Jeremy's always been good at this.
I got almost between two of us, because you had some I couldn't get with like country stuff. You have to name not only the title of the song, which I was like, got it. Artist, got it. And then it was like year, and I was like, don't got it.
Nope.
Those were hard.
But at least you guessed.
I guessed, and a lot of them we were off
time.
by a year.
Yeah.
So we didn't win that one, but there's a 2000s trivia. That was the 90s trivia we did. There's an 80s music challenge one I highly, highly recommend. That is part that game with part challenge. So you have two sides of the room. They split up, and they will play a snippet of the song. There's basically a captain for each team. They have to answer the name of the song, who it's by, and then they have a challenge around it. It usually involves dancing. Somebody did fall off of someone's shoulders, which was not recommended to do. But it's just
good
a
thing
blast.
they were drunk.
Yes.
I'm not
'cause
gonna lie.
they woke up the next morning being like, what? Why am I sore? You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, check these out. They're so fun.
Yeah.
A lot of these happen in Saga. And then you have some of the other game shows, or some of the other trivias throughout will be at Triton's Lounge, which is right there. Cask and Cannon has some. The Sanctum has them. Let's talk about Cask and Cannon. We've got this aboard the Wish as well. It is a Pirates themed bar.
Yeah,
it is
it's
very,
really
very
cool.
good. It is not Beacon Barrel,
No, it's not.
but
It is
it's fun.
just really cool.
Yeah, it's a great spot. We
100%.
one of the things we did there was, what would you call it? Was a scratch off art.
I don't know. It was stupid.
This is one of the dumbest things that
It
they
was
have on the
so
ship.
dumb. But I mean, whatever. We
We did it, and we had fun, and
Yeah,
we
laughed.
met an old couple who are either the most in love ever or hate each other's guts, and I'm not sure which it was. This was their 30th Disney cruise. And just watching them interact was hilarious. But we got to sit next to them and we chatted with them a little bit, or they chatted with us, really.
Yeah.
You could tell after 30 cruises, they were like, we got to talk to some other people.
Oh my goodness.
So that was a lot of fun. All right, next let's move over to DeVille's Piano Lounge. This is right next to the Grand Hall. This is tiny. This gets lines,
Yes, it does.
especially for the treble making with Cruella, which is hosted by Zaya and Gamble, who are the
my
two
God.
storytellers
So fun.
on the boat or on the ship. But let's talk about Cruella. We kept trying to get into this treble making, and it lines up. We ended up getting there an hour early
Yeah.
on the final day
Yeah.
with the four of us to get in.
Yes.
And we didn't have an issue then getting in, but when we showed up and like Olivia, she did the cruise recently. She could never get into it. I think she said she got there an hour early one time and still didn't get in.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
you don't want to miss this though,
Yeah.
much like I missed Dr. Facilier's Parlor that I think
Yeah.
we mentioned on the first review episode. Put this at the top of your priority list.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. You don't want to miss it.
And we got in line and we were waiting for an hour, and all of a sudden, and I think this is just the absolute coolest ever. I love when we get it in the parks, but when it happens on the ship, Andrea was like, "Are you Rhonda and Jeremy?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And it was just so cool. Thank you for saying something, Andrea. I'm sad we didn't get to meet the kids. But it was so great because her and her husband weren't getting to be in line, and the kids were off
Yeah.
in the kids club or whatever.
And they ended up sitting right up
sat
front
up
for this. They got to
She
participate.
was participating.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing. I was like, oh, thank God we're back here in the corner.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I just don't like that anymore. I feel like, because I get nervous because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't spell things right. I don't do things right.
All right,
I don't know.
So troublemaking with Cruella, you go in, and I'm telling you, I can't remember how much this sits, but this place is so small.
It is.
It's so intimate. There's a big grand piano right in the middle.
Yep.
It's very, very cool. And you're in there, and Zaya and Gamble, who again are going to be your storytellers, that if you're familiar with Disney Cruise, you're familiar with those folks in general of what the storytellers are. These two were the best ever.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have played in the future, in the past. He would have had a little bit of a hair change. I feel like he could have pulled off Star-Lord really well over at Epcot outside of Cosmic Rewind.
Maybe.
He kind of had that look and that personality to him, but they're hilarious. We'll talk about another show they did a little bit later. But so they host this. Cruella basically kind of busts in the door.
Yeah.
And she does, after they're playing the Cruella DeVille song, she hears it. She's like, this is a negative song. I don't like it. I'm going to leave. I'm coming back in like 15 minutes. I want you to write a song about me that says how great I am, like how awesome I am. And then live right there with help from the audience and with Zaya and Gamble, you write a song for Cruella DeVille.
And it's so neat because it's so live.
It's all improv.
That
like
they laugh. Like they are like
they get caught off
and
guard.
They do.
What was the poopy one that Chris recommended? He got a couple in there. One of them was poopy. For some reason, we ended up all singing poopy. I just remember that part.
Puppy poos or
they made it positive.
It was hysterical though.
And they're running around the room.
Oh,
and then like Andrea and her husband Jim, they got to participate because they would hand them and say, all right, write down this next lyric.
Yeah.
And then they were going to need to hold it up for everyone to sing. This was awesome. And at the end, Cruella busts back in and you have to sing the song.
Yes, you do.
Which also involves some dance movements and some interactive active stuff. Don't miss this.
Yeah, because even me being in the corner, he did come up to me, Gamble, and like, I was like, oh God, am I doing it right? Like,
It was so much fun. This was the only time we got to spend in DeVille's because it was hard to get in any other time. But when it's just standard open as a piano lounge, you can go in there, you can get your drinks, you can chill, you can hear some music.
Yeah, because when you do this, nobody was going around getting a drink or anything like that. And I think even Chris was sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they got him a drink or not.
I don't think so.
They were just.
Yep.
They
It's
were
really
busy.
a show.
Yeah.
It's really a show.
Yeah.
But I would not miss it. Very, very cool spot. Let's go over to Sanctum Lounge. All I can tell you is this is where Tiana's is on the Wish.
Yeah.
It is that right behind basically the Grand Hall area.
Yep.
It's kind of open on both sides. Yep. Of course, this is Doctor Strange. The details are absolutely incredible.
So cool.
Down to the 177 Bleecker Street sign that is right on the outside there. They have some cool zero proof beverages. One of those is the Eye of Agamotto, which is Granny Smith apple, lemonade, and butterfly pea. It's only $7. No, this was the upside down one. I'm pretty sure this wasn't the upside that came in the upside down martini glass.
No, that's mine because it was Granny Smith lemonade and butterfly pea.
Oh,
because it was
I might have missed
purple
putting mine
and
on here then. Because the multiverse, I believe, is the one which was coconut, dragon fruit, coconut water for $7 that came with the lollipop on top.
Yeah.
Remember? Or you can get the multiverse served in the Eye of Agamotto sipper, which is super duper cool. We didn't get it.
Yeah.
But
then you must.
It lights up. It's all. I might have forgot that one, but the Sanctum is a really cool hangout spot. It is one of the larger.
Get coffees there too, I believe.
I think so in the mornings or anytime, I guess.
But
full bar,
a
lot of seating area. It's kind of like a step up in one section near the bar.
They do a lot of trivia there as well.
A lot of trivia, and that fills up really quick. It is one of the larger bars and lounges that's there. Live music all day and throughout is very, very cool to do there as well. Loved the Sanctum. Now, let's talk about Imagineering and what they've done with the Haunted Mansion Parlor. From the moment you step into the initial hallway, which is shaped like a coffin.
Wow.
So
cool.
To opening the door. I don't want to forget this. When you leave, there is a sensor so that when you leave, it knows you're leaving. And displayed on a small TV is that awful little woman at the end of the Haunted Mansion ride saying, hurry back. It is incredible.
Back.
So talk. I'm trying to even like, how do we explain what the Haunted Mansion Parlor is inside? It's everything you want it to be.
So cool.
It's alive.
Know. It is.
It's alive and dead.
Yeah.
Like
it's
so
dark.
It's dark. It's very dark.
Really dark. So, I started to say, when you're older like us, it's kind of
get your flashlights
hard
out,
to
folks.
see. I know. But I don't want to say that because you don't want to,
No.
because you want to.
But what's cool is that all the menus are on an iPad.
Yeah.
And it will give you a hint on the bottom that if you rotate the iPad, there is a puzzle to solve that will bring up the secret menu, which includes this incredible double gargoyle drink for 2.
But you don't get to keep the
You
gargoyle.
don't get to keep the gargoyle in that one. But so if you've been to like Beacon Barrel, for example, you know that it has these kind of it's like a show. It has show scenes. It has interactive elements.
Yes.
These are same thing here, and it runs for 45 minutes.
Yes.
So you want to spend at least 45 minutes here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which part of the show you get into, as long as you stay for 45 minutes, you'll see the full rotation.
Correct.
This includes things like the paintings on the wall that have people that appear alive. And things will happen that they turn into their ghostly selves. Yeah. There is the aquarium in the middle that somehow has floating bones of fish swimming throughout. There is, if you sit, I recommend one time sitting at the bar facing the giant mirror behind it, because there are, it's like Pepper's Ghost effect, but they're doing it in a different manner.
Yeah.
But it's that Pepper's Ghost effect where you'll see everything from Hatbox to the opera singers to the hitchhiking ghost that will appear. There's interactive elements with
music.
with the music and the bartenders and the cast members that are working in there. There's the chair in the corner you can get your photo in. Like, there are so many little hidden details.
Yeah.
Down to the point that I love every single liquor in Spirit is not in its bottle that you would see. You don't see Captain Morgan's rum bottle.
Right.
They have all been transferred into these antique looking clear glass bottles that are labeled with each one. Like, again, every detail is unbelievable in here. And we went back multiple times. I love to just sit in here and kind of take it all in. I think it's one of those places that you could spend an hour or 2 in it every single day on your cruise, and you're still going to miss things. Like, you're just going to miss little details.
I'm sure.
Because they're throughout. They do have a wonderful, of course, alcoholic menu. They also have some good spirit-free stuff like Restless Bones, which includes 1883 popcorn syrup, Monin salted caramel, and boundless butterscotch potion for $8.50. These potions are their sodas. Like, they have their own crafted sodas on board in their own bottles that are all themed to Haunted Mansion in the Parlor. How did you like Restless Bones, Rhonda?
It tasted like popcorn, salt, like
tastes
a popcorn drink in
kettle
your mouth.
corn. Yeah. Tasted like liquid kettle corn.
It was really cool at first, and then I'm like, ugh, this is gonna make my stomach hurt. / this is too much. So I would suggest getting it and sharing it probably. Amongst some
They're
people.
overly sweet drinks.
Yeah.
But they are good. We got, I think it was on the first day, we got the Midnight Spree, which is the 1883 dragon fruit syrup, butterfly pea syrup, sour shivers lemonade. There's the Swinging Wake, which is Monin cherry and banana syrups, orange juice, berry beware potion. This one comes with the organ player sipper, which we did bring home.
Yeah, we did. And
it lights
what
up.
else did we bring home?
We also got, they have a Hatbox Ghost sipper where when you turn it on, it lights up and the face goes from the head to the hat box. It's probably my new favorite sipper.
I don't remember which one. It might have been, was the Swinging Wake what I got?
It may have been.
Because I liked that one.
Yeah.
There was one that I really did like.
Yeah, I think that was the first night you got the first day you got that one with the Monin cherry and banana syrups.
Or the dragon fruit. I'm trying to remember, but I believe because one of them was yours too. Those two were probably the best.
Yes.
that I would get again.
Yeah.
That
all the
popcorn
potions are
one,
overly sweet.
Yeah,
and anything
I would
made
not.
with the potions are very sweet.
Yeah.
I did the Screaming Soda, which is a cream soda potion for $5.25. It was a very good cream soda.
Oh, it was.
Very, very sweet.
But yeah.
But they give you the bottle, you pour it in a glass. They're so cool.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about Haunted Mansion Parlor. Please, please, please. I don't want to copycat at Magic Kingdom just because I know they can do more. But if that's what you got to do, do it. Bring it.
Yeah.
Everybody
really
would
cool.
love it. We covered a lot about the trivia. You're going to have everything from Marvel, music, adult only, it's 18 plus trivias that aren't dirty. They're just the same stuff. Different difficulty levels. So you'll have Disney general trivia, 1, 2, and 3. 1, pretty easy. 2, not so easy. 3, Rhonda and I get stumped.
Yep.
So, just think about that. If there is one bit, not counting the Broadway-style shows that we're going to discuss, not counting those, if there is one show and you are 18 years of age or older, you do not want to miss, and it only plays once. And I believe on our trip, it was the second night. It is With Great Power, a Marvel comedy show with Zaya and Gamble in Saga. Do not miss this. Get there early. You can find it on YouTube if you do miss it or whatever. You want to check it out. It is incredible. This actually gets a little spicy. It gets a little raunchy.
Yes, it does. But it is so good.
Deadpool shows up at the end.
Yep.
In screen form, not in the flesh.
Were you hoping it was in the flesh?
No, I knew it wasn't. I caught a glimpse of this. It would be cool if it was in the flesh, but this is a retelling of some Marvel characters.
Oh my God, it's so good.
In an improv audience participation fashion that involves lots of props and costume changes. It's frantic, it's chaotic, it is hilarious. This is one that when we sat down with your parents, I'm like, they might not enjoy this. They loved it.
They laughed the whole time.
Absolutely loved it.
I was just going to say, when you said the Marvel, Jeremy and I obviously have seen pretty much every single Marvel stuff. We love it. So we understood everything.
Yeah, there's lots of references.
Right.
You would need to know the MCU to get.
Right. They may not have seen everything. They've seen some, but I mean, every single time I looked over, not only was my daddy laughing, but he was smiling if he wasn't laughing. Yeah. And I just was it was great. Just shocked that they loved it. But it was amazing. Yeah. I didn't realize it was playing only one time and we got to see it. That's
and before that is Elixir Hall with singer Violet. So comes out in like a 1920s dress. Yeah. She sings Mr. Blue Sky, which is super cool. So get there early. Yeah. If you got to get there an hour early and just sit, there's going to be stuff happening prior. Yeah. You know what I mean? So go ahead and enjoy what's going on. But man, this thing was good. Like, I want to go and look it up on YouTube, but I want to find our Zaya and Gamble because they were so stinking good. If movies are your thing, there are 2 movie theaters. We wanted to check one of them out, so we went and caught the ending, about the last 15-20 minutes of Zootopia 2. These are great little movie theaters. Yeah,
that was the first time we've ever walked into that.
It is. And
Hoppers was playing in that, which was really sad.
We just couldn't find time to sit down and watch the whole thing.
2 hours
it's a
out
lot.
of your day.
I just can't imagine sitting in a theater for 2 hours.
I know. It's hard.
But you have Funnel Vision, which is up on the pool deck.
I love that.
Which I love. Like we said last episode, grab a slice of pizza. Check out that, whether it's late night, during the day. We certainly caught some stuff there.
Yes, of course.
We weren't big into character encounters this trip. We didn't really stay to, get in line to meet any.
There's a lot of long lines.
There's a lot of long lines with the characters.
The children.
Yeah, but here's what's cool. If you want your chance to meet Loki and Black Panther,
Maleficent,
and Spider-Man, Maleficent, Evil Queen. These are some rare characters that you often cannot find in the parks outside of special events or going to Avengers Campus out west, right? So there are some really, really cool ones. You will encounter some like we did with Donald Duck when he and his handler were walking. We were heading to Saga.
Really cool.
And
because you got pictures of me, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I got pictures of y'all laughing. As always, you tell him how much Rachel loves him.
I do. Every time,
every single
Rachel.
time, and he's
every
very
time.
thankful. every single time. But there are some great opportunities there for character meet and greets. Kids clubs and teen spaces. You got, the It's a Small World nursery, which you do need to book ahead of time. But you have the drop-in clubs like Oceaneer Club, Edge, and Vibe, based on the ages. These are great. I had a few interactions with some folks on the ship who dropped their kids off here when they wanted to just go. Maybe they didn't want maybe they did want to do the adults only stuff,
right.
or they just wanted to go to trivia without their kids, or they know that their kids are going to enjoy it and love it.
Right.
One of the folks that I met, and I'm not going to say any more, but I did get to attend the first 2 days. Every day at 8:30 a.m. they had the Friends of Bill W. meeting.
Yeah.
This is their AA style meeting for folks in recovery. It is self-led. It is not run or sanctioned by AA. So, you're going to go into the room. You're going to meet some folks that are also in recovery or sober. And you guys are just going to lead the group for yourselves for about an hour. I really, really enjoyed this. And I was so thankful that they had this on board.
And from everything and from alcohol to any type of, correct?
It's other folks showed up. Alcohol was the common theme.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that is a common because it's Bill W. who created AA.
Okay.
Is what it's named after. But this was in Triton's Lounge, and again, it's nice to have on board. It's just neat in the first day to see folks exchanging their Navigator chat information and saying, hey, if you need anything when you're on board, if you have the urge to drink or anything, hit me up, whatever it may be. So I was really glad they had that. All right, let's talk real quick about, we don't have to be real quick, but the Broadway-style stage shows. First one, we did miss the first night, is Disney Sees the Adventure. You can find this on other ships. I'm honestly trying to remember if we've caught this in the past.
Wasn't that, though, like 30 minutes or something?
It's a shorter one, yes. Yeah.
Because
But it is in the Walt Disney Theater where the Broadway shows occur.
And I was like thinking back when we were on, I believe, The Magic, there were 3 different shows. Yeah. And I can't remember what it was called, but it was still as long as the Frozen and Hercules.
Yeah, I believe this is a shorter one. It may be 45 minutes or something.
It was just some and then I think when the TV you had it on.
Yeah.
Because you can catch everything in your room.
Yes.
Which
you can watch them live in your room.
I think is really cool because.
Especially with the kids.
A, with kids, or B, if like for some reason you do get nauseous or sick and you have to be in your room, or it was super funny right before we were leaving. There was a little girl that came, and I say little, she's going into middle school this next year, but an elementary student that was in my room. That the reason she was there with her dad and brother was because she had a sore throat or something. That I was like, arm's length away, dude, like keep from me. I'm leaving on a cruise. And I was just thinking, golly, if I would have ended up 2 days in sick because, of being around her, and she had something more than whatever, and she was fine anyways. But the point is I was like thinking, wow, this is nice that there's so much on the TV that you cannot miss something.
Right. You don't have to miss things. We did miss this one.
We did. But
we didn't make a real point to try and get to it.
I don't think
and it
we
was on the
missed
first
much,
night.
I feel like.
It was on the first night. Most of these, except for Hercules, which is going to have 3 showings in a day. They have 2 showings per night. And they're basically at the same time as the dinner time. So if you have the early dinner, you want to catch the late show. If you have the late dinner like we did, you want to catch the earlier 6:15 show. Frozen, a musical. Actually, before we get to Frozen, let's talk about the Broadway Stars Night. So this included Aladdin and Jasmine from both Broadway,
really
West
cool.
End, Australian Broadway. They had played them a couple times. If you have done the Broadway shows during Festival of the Arts, that's what this is, but on the cruise ship.
It's amazing.
So the first night in Walt Disney Theater that they do it, they will sing a bunch of different Disney Broadway show songs. They'll tell you little stories and behind the scenes from their time on Aladdin, whatever else. Then they do the next night, they did 18 plus only in Saga, where it was all different Broadway numbers from not just Disney shows, but others.
Correct.
Very intimate setting. Obviously, they are as talented as all get out. I didn't know most of the songs on the second night. but they did close, which I was so thankful and loved, was Suddenly Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors, which is one of my favorites ever. So that was super cool. All right,
Beachside did Little Shop of Horrors this past year, and my client,
I think Lacey said they might be doing it next year at our
my client.
high school.
He plays saxophone, and he was in it and showed me a little snippet, and he said this was from Suddenly Seymour, and I was like, "Oh my god, my husband loves this." Anyway, sorry.
I grew up watching the movie with Steve Martin, and oh my gosh, it is the best.
I remember you showing it to me, and I'm not a fan of that, but I didn't grow up with that.
I forget which one it is. I think it was one of the guys from the Temptations that voices the plant.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on to
Audrey 2 is the plant's name.
Okay.
Because Seymour names it after Audrey, who he's in love with.
Okay.
Frozen, a musical spectacular. Retelling of Frozen 1. In the only way Broadway can do it.
It is incredible.
It just blow my mind that they're able to pull this off.
I don't understand how they do it, but it is amazing.
So good.
It makes you want to cry. It gives you chills. It is phenomenal.
Here's first of all, I think Broadway, like I love live entertainment. Obviously, I love live music. I have gotten more and more into enjoying musicals and everything goes around them. We're going to see Beetlejuice here in Jacksonville.
I'm excited
next week, which I'm so pumped for.
Yeah.
It blows me away that those folks are able to do what they do live, right? There's no cuts. There's no second chances.
Yeah.
They tend to do them 8 to 9 times a week because, they'll have matinee shows on weekend plus the evening shows. And it blows my mind. What's even more insane on the Disney ship is it's to the exact same level.
Oh.
Now, they're not as long. They're not like 2-3 hours or whatever. They're an hour 15. But they do a different show each night. When you can do Frozen one night with that full stage setup, full costuming, full everything, and then those same people can do Hercules the next night with the full stage, the full costume, playing different roles. It is just absolutely incredible.
And what comes out of the floor?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I want to be
out of the stages and from the
how long? I'm like, okay, it's gotta be. I feel like 3 or 4.
It's a whole other deck.
Flights.
I'm guessing it's a whole other deck underneath. We need to get and it's weird when you have really good friends that are former cast members or whatever it may be. I want them on the show, but at the same time. Well, we can. I want to have I've wanted to have Landon and Jess from Vacation Grocery Delivery on, right? Forever. We've known them for years now, and Landon played Flynn Rider on the cruise ships in the Tangled show, right?
And she was
Rapunzel. And she has played. Well, they've both played multiple characters. They'll be amazing, and we'll have them on. But the reason we haven't is because I don't want to do it in an interview. Hey, you're on our show. Let me ask you questions. Because the real life conversations we've had with them around it are so much better.
Yeah.
We've just never sat there and pressed record.
Yeah.
But I still want to have them on. I want to hear all about this type of things because he'll give us these insights. But it is just, oh man, in Hercules. Holy moly. Hercules blew my mind.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Hercules, who also played Kristoff in Frozen, is incredible. Yeah. When he was doing Go the Distance.
Oh, those and the voices.
Literally the muses.
Man.
Oh, I got throughout. Frozen was spectacular. It's in the name. A musical spectacular. Hercules should just have behind it just spectacular. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's the best show I've seen on a cruise ship. Not that we've seen it done. The interactions, the stage pieces, the way it moves. One of the things I love so much about Hamilton, aside from Lin-Manuel's brilliant writing, is it has such a simplistic stage setup that has that turntable.
Yeah.
But the way that they choreograph and interact with it was the same way they did those stairs, in Hercules.
Yeah.
It just, and nobody misses their mark. In Frozen, a mic receiver might fall out.
Oh, that was amazing.
Of Anna's dress, but she played it like a pro.
She did amazing.
Unfortunately for me, as soon as I saw it, it's all I could fixate on.
Oh, me
for
too.
The next 15 minutes until they could get her fixed.
Me too.
But just.
Well, let me say this about Hercules.
Hercules.
as everybody knows, Jeremy loves the movie and stuff, and obviously we've seen it. I will tell you, I don't know if this is shocking or not, but my parents have never seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So while we were sitting there and before the show started, I tried to give my parents like a gist of what they were about to watch is and all the things. So I did. And again, I mean, afterwards, they were just like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. But you don't even need the gist because it is going to tell you the entire story.
No,
now, it does it at a much faster pace,
you're
obviously.
Right. But I just also wanted them to go into understanding.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's different when you kind of tell a synopsis real quick and then you watch something rather than, I have no idea what this is going to be.
Sure.
And I'm just going to watch it. And then it puts it together for you. I feel like at least you're like, oh, okay. Like, so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's kind of like a movie trailer in a sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Where
it is
you're
like a trailer. You get the gist of what's going to happen.
Let me see because I mean, like, I think for example, I've started and I've told everybody this. I've been watching all these things that I didn't watch in the past, and Pretty Little Liars is one that I really didn't know what it was really about. And I had no gist or really anything. Of course, they're liars, so you would think something's. And
they're obviously pretty.
Of course, but I've
they're a little like you. They're short.
One is but
So the synopsis is in the name.
Yeah, but it's just funny because I had no idea, and it was weird to like not watch a trailer. So that's where I'm. Yeah. So anyways,
I just. Don't miss these.
No, don't.
Do not miss Hercules. Do not miss Frozen. Do not miss whatever's on your ship. Whether it's Moana, Little Mermaid. I mean, I know there's a bunch of different ones. Tangled. Do not miss them. If you don't think you're big into musicals or Broadway shows, I don't care. Still go to them.
Yeah.
It will blow your mind.
Yeah, 100%.
And these are some of the most talented folks
absolutely
that I have ever encountered anywhere.
Yeah.
Because again, you can go from playing Kristoff one night to Hercules the next night without skipping a beat and absolutely nail both of those roles. All right, we're going to talk about Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Then we will wrap up with some uncomfortable situations which involve beards and bodies, we'll say. So Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point was one of our stops. This is Disney's newest stop, Disney leased, owned, whatever you call it, stop. It is not a full island. It is part of the Bahamas on the southern tip of, can't remember the actual island's name, but how do you want to approach this one? Because again, we kind of want to just sit and talk about it. Some of the things we missed is, there are a bunch of, what would it be? Entertainment and culture. This is very culture driven.
Yeah,
right. They really worked with the Bohemian government, with the folks. They brought in lots of Bohemian artists. Of course, Joe Rohde got to work on this and help design and build it. The Junkanoo inspired entertainment throughout. Yeah. There were some European guys wearing Speedos. I could see their Junkanoo very clearly on when they were out there. But there is some different music. There is some things that you can catch. Yeah. We just didn't.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Let's talk about the walk.
Let's talk about the walk because
that's everybody's
biggest thing. And it is, I guess the right word is intimidating when you pull up and see it.
They cannot, it's like Castaway Cay, they dock at Castaway Cay basically, and you get off, there's a small tram ride.
Right.
Here, because of the protected reefs and coral and all of that, they could not get the boat and build a dock close enough. So they had to build this very, very, very long bridge walkway path that you have to get off the ship and you must walk.
But let me say before this, I don't know how far, I don't know how many yards, I don't know how many sea miles, but I felt like Carnival was right next to us.
Yeah, and they got to take the little...
They leased part of the island.
Yeah.
And they had to take boats.
Yes,
from the boat. So, I mean... So I'm kind of like, what would you like, guys? Would you like the walk? And I'm going to go ahead and start out by saying my mommy is one who, when she has to walk or if she's going to, hike or anything, she has to really prepare for it. I mean, for most of my life. We actually, I don't know how old I was. I'd have to ask, but we hiked the Grand Canyon, and I'll never forget my mom, was really like kind of like a marathon training for it. And my mom has always been that type. So I was very excited to walk with my mom and see how she felt about this walk. Now, I'm going to set the scene for you and tell you it was a beautiful, windy day that it had wind, so it wasn't sweltering.
Yeah, it wasn't overly hot. Temps were good.
Yep.
This was a perfect day for it.
My mom was like, this was easy. This was nothing.
Yeah.
She was very fine, and I was like, okay, cool.
It's a 12-minute walk.
Total?
For us, I timed it.
I thought it was 7.
No. From off the boat to the entrance to Lookout Key,
okay,
that area was 12 minutes.
Okay.
And, and that is long. I get it. For a lot of people, this is long. They do have, if you have disabilities, they do have golf carts. They'll be able to take you.
Yep.
There are wagons for children. There is no shade. Yeah, that's a little weird, but at the same time, you're about to go sit on a beach with no shade for the most part. You can get some umbrellas and stuff, but if you've done parks, right, this is not going to be that big of a deal. You walk a lot more on the boat when you're going from your room to lunch and then over to the entertainment, and then you got to go back to the grand hall, then you got to go back to your room, then you go to the pool. Like, this is I think this is, for me personally, and again, this is coming from a 46-year-old man who is okay walking. I think it has been way overblown.
I agree.
And it is not that bad. It's an enjoyable walk. Yeah. It's an easy walk. Yep. And I had zero issue with it. Your mom had zero issue with it.
And that was
we
the
didn't
biggest
see have a
thing.
lot of folks having issues with it. I don't think it's that bad at all.
I knew we wouldn't. I hate to say it this way, I was excited to see if my mom was like, can we stop for a little bit?
And not once.
And she didn't. She was like, and she looked at me like, really? You were kind of, and I'm like, well, hey, I don't know. So, I'm happy to report that she was like, and I mean, the biggest thing is that there's no hills. It's a straight
It's all
shot.
flat. And if you want pictures of yourself with the boat in the background, you better get them now, because you're not going to see it again when you get on this long tram ride that takes you to a very remote portion where you can't see the ship at all. I mean, we'll just get it. I'm not a fan of Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. I'll just get into it. I'm not a fan of it. I didn't care for it. It doesn't have the same vibe as Castaway Key. It is very beautiful. It is very well built.
I would like to, let me say it like this. I agree with you 100%. And I would like to give it 3, 4, 5 years maybe, and then try again.
But what's going to change?
I don't know. I mean, because first of all, like, all it is a beach.
It's a concrete jungle with a beach next to it.
It really is. They don't have any swimming with stingrays.
There's nothing in the beach beach area to do.
Not that I would. I'm just saying. I didn't see an area like they do at Castaway for like paddle boarding and doing things
all
like that.
Right?
They did have snorkeling, but I don't know.
Oh yeah,
where.
But it wasn't like,
I just saw people.
Yeah, there weren't like the roped off areas. You don't get the cool slide that's in the middle of the water there.
Correct. Now
there's a great family park kid water play area.
Right, but I wouldn't go in there without young children.
No, I looked at the slide and I was like, I'm not going to go on that slide without having, I feel like, kids with me. It didn't feel like it was built for adults.
Correct. So there's just nothing in the water at all.
Here's my best way to explain it, right? Castaway Key, to me, has so much old school island charm. It feels like it existed.
Yeah.
And then Disney came and was like, do you mind if we bring some passengers here?
Right.
Whereas Lookout Key, and I understand this is what it is, was built just for this. Yeah. When you weren't on the beach looking at the beautiful, stunning water, to me it felt like walking around Volcano Bay.
I agree, because there's a lot of like just built up stuff to walk and all the things, and it's just sad because Again, the water was beautiful and it was cold. The sand's amazing. I would like to be there on a time when it was like warmer, where you could get literally in the water, like in the water.
Which plenty of people did. It just was not for us. It's too cold for us.
Right. So I just
it felt so spread out.
Yeah.
Like even from the areas. And then we started on the family beach, which
my
got
goodness.
absolutely insane. Now, I understand we've only been to Castaway Cay twice before.
Yeah.
But we did spend time on the family beach there, and I don't ever remember it getting like this. Like, talk about nuts to butts. This was so packed.
I fell
and again, and some of that was European guys' junk news. So it got so slammed
and loud.
so quickly and so loud. So we moved down to Serenity Bay, the adults only area.
That was amazing.
Which was so much quieter.
It was crazy.
There is a lot of seating there and all.
Yeah.
And but I didn't care. I just didn't care for this. And that's really all I can say.
I would say if you want some merch, though, buy it first.
Yep. It is limited, and that's all they got there at the moment.
And then my dad wanted something that he didn't get. And then... Yeah, so just go ahead and get the merch. Yeah. Get that over with.
We'll talk about lunch. So you get your barbecue lunch.
Oh yeah, lunch was.
You get your True Two.
Lunch
True
was
Two.
Decent because they had burgers, but they also had like a chicken sandwich, and I got that. Almost looked like Chick-fil-A in my opinion.
Well, you have two locations you can dine at over at the family area, and then you have one at Serenity Bay.
So we picked
did
up
the one
and
at Serenity
headed over
Bay,
there,
which was so quiet.
Nice.
Pretty easy to find seating that was shaded, which was great.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got everything from ribs to burgers to the chicken sandwich to all the fixins and sides. It's
this is why I didn't eat.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Well, this is why I didn't eat at the Mickey's on
the Goofy's Grill.
Yeah, because literally I thought it was just barbecue. So I was kind of excited for the chicken sandwich, and I really actually enjoyed it. And then, they had some sides and potato salad. I really liked that.
Yeah. Coleslaw and mac and cheese. And it's, this is, I compare these a lot to this type of stuff to the backyard barbecue type thing. This is the one where, your friend's having a Memorial weekend party and he loves cooking or smoking some stuff. And so he does that and not winning any competitions, but it's good stuff and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you get yourself a nice big plate full and you sit in the shade. They do have bars throughout. They do have a lot of non-alcoholic, beyond just like daiquiris and pina colada type stuff. We got the most adorable Stitch sipper I've ever seen in my entire life.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's holding Scrump.
Yes,
and his ears are down. Oh, it's adorable.
It is adorable.
I love him so much. It's my favorite.
When I saw him, I was like, and then I got a straw.
Yeah.
That was $11, which is kind of stupid
to me.
But at the same time, it fits in my Stanley, and I've been using it, so I still need to get a blue one. But anyways.
So I just, here's my thing now is when I would like to go back, obviously, because we always give things another shot.
Oh, 100%.
And it feels kind of like I'm being a jerk by saying this feels too new when it is very, very new. But
right.
I don't think saying it feels too new is right. It missed the charm.
I think it's just hard because obviously we're comparing it to Castaway.
Right.
And, would we choose Castaway over Lookout?
100%.
Absolutely, 100%. Every time.
Here's the thing. If our dates are in stone and we have to do a cruise that has Lookout, then I'm going to do it. If I have an opportunity to choose a cruise that includes Castaway instead, I'm going to look at adjusting whatever we need to adjust to go to Castaway instead. Now, what I would love to do is there are some cruises that stop at both.
I would love
that would be
too.
super cool
yes,
and truly get the comparison.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people are going to love this, because of maybe the feel. I just, and maybe part of it's because we don't get off in Nassau. So we don't get that Caribbean vibe and feel, we're missing that from getting off in Nassau. But it just didn't have that same charm. I really missed it. I much prefer Castaway Cay. But if this is where you have to stop This is where you have to stop.
Yep.
And the views are still stunning looking out at the water. And I want the job of the guy on the Sea-Doo who gets to ride back and forth because that looks fun.
Yeah, I just started to say so there's no ropes or anything. That's why I feel like, they might kind of bring stuff or do
the beach
stuff
feels more
or,
remote. Like the beach, when you're at the
Yeah.
actual beach, because you can't really see the buildings as much, it really feels like they just dropped you off on an uninhabited island.
Yeah.
Whereas Castaway feels like a place that was created for people to visit. It just, I don't know. I was disappointed. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about, and we'll close out with some massages and such.
All right, let
what do
me
you
start
want to touch on
with
first?
this, but let me start with this beard trim. Let me go ahead
Looks Barbary.
and give a little backstory of Jeremy looked at me a few, I feel like years ago now, and said, I'm going to try to grow a beard. And he's like a beard, like let it grow and long and see what he can do. And he's like, I'm going to give it the old college try. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care, whatever. Because he already kind of had stuff on his face, like really like a short type of quote unquote beard. So he was going to let it grow, I guess you call it, long. And it was funny because when he started, I was trying to cut it and everything at first. And with all this being said, I finally looked at him because I don't do that. I did it a long time ago for some guys that would come in from, but I'm like, here, go to a barber, go to somebody. So he's been doing this and $20, guys, where I give him $20 and that's with tip.
Yeah, well, no, that was the first place I went.
Well, I'm just saying, give or take, I'm like, okay.
Now I go to hair mechanics usually here and I drop about 40 or 50, but I get
you do?
I get the facial and stuff there now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets hair mechanics. The last beard trim was
I went like 2 months or so, 2.5 months.
just to get this beard trim.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm going to spend some money on the ship, so I want to make it worth it. I'm going to go in there and
let's
need it.
Let's again paint the picture, or my picture. When you booked it, it was like $59, right? Like that's
starting at.
Okay, that's what it said.
Okay.
Okay. Just kind of wanting to paint this picture, and then you can go into it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking again, 2 months. Like we went from spending $20 with tip to, like I said, I didn't really know how much at hair mechanics, but I was assuming 30 maybe or whatever.
Yeah, well, I started adding the facial, so that makes it significantly more.
So with that being said, he was waiting, and of course everything is a little more. I get I got a blowout last time on the Magic, or was it the Wish? I don't remember.
Remember.
It was
at the Tangled Salon.
Yeah, it was $100. Which, okay. So I knew this would be a little bit more. And then I was like, okay. And again, time, I'm thinking he only takes about 30 minutes, at hair mechanics, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
All right. So he had a 5:00 appointment, correct?
I did.
Okay. So he goes about 4:45 to go up there, because usually they're going to push a notification and tell you to go about 15 minutes early. So we're leaving. We're still, Daddy and I are watching, we're watching in the back, seeing bye Miami, bye Fort Lauderdale. And we're watching the ship. We were on the
Dream
Destiny.
was there.
The Dream was there.
The Dream was there.
It was coming out with us. So Jeremy goes to this appointment. 15 minutes till 5.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy and Daddy and I are waiting, and this is now, let's see, 5. So I thought 5:30. We're at 6:00, and I'm like, holy crap, where is he? Like, and we're just waiting around because we're like, I'm thinking it's going to take about 30 minutes, give or take. He'll be done by 5:30. And okay, so 5 hours later, just kidding. No, it was 6:30. He was basically, give or take, done. And I'm talking 6:30. So we were headed somewhere like immediately and we were sitting in front of DeVille's because we thought he was going to meet us there by like 6:00. This was just where, and I kept walking by, and at one point, like, here he is. I walk by and it looks like he's literally taking a nap. There's nobody around him. He's just taking a nap, and I'm like, okay, he's there. I'm not worried.
I was in a reclined chair with like towels on my face.
Well, no, you weren't.
Oh.
At this point. I'm like, okay, he's there. I guess he didn't fall overboard or try to go find us. So now you can tell your story, but that was my side of it where I was like, what is going on?
Well, what had happened was, first of all, I did get there early, and I encountered a very lovely crew member,
okay,
whose name tag said that their name was Elton John. That is what was on the name tag. And we had a lovely conversation. All of these are run by third parties out of the Bahamas, actually, by third party companies. So I had to fill out a whole form, which I was not expecting, which is asking all kinds of things. So I had to fill out this whole form and all. And then when the lady came and was like, all right, we're going to do your trim and all. She said, how do you want it? And I'm like, well, I don't really want length off of it. I just need to shape it up, take off cheeks and all. And she's starts saying, well, we have some additional add-on opportunities like the facial, which I had been getting at Hair Mechanics and I love. First time I got one there, I didn't realize. So here's my life. When I was at Hair Mechanics the first time, I guess I did it all online. Actually, I didn't do it. I don't know if I did it online. One of Lacey's friends works there. She might have put it in. Anyway, I just had beard trim. The next time, I'm like looking, there's all these options. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, Beardtopia. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll do Beardtopia. So we get there, shaves my beard, and she's like, all right, now we're going to do the facial. And I'm like, oh no, like I don't even know what that means. So she comes, does the hot towel and all this, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And this is again at Hair Mechanics. I'm laid back in the chair. If you've never been to Hair Mechanics, it's a guy's place, right? To get like haircut. There are questionable posters on the wall. There's rock music and all playing. And I remember she lays me back, puts the hot towel on. She's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get the shaving cream. She's gonna do a straight razor on like my cheeks and all. And Creed's With Arms Wide Open starts playing. And it was just this moment where I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be. So I started getting them the facials from then on. So when she says, well, we can do like a facial, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and add that. So add the facial. And then she's like, well, we have some other options with the facial that involves both hot and cold. And there's like these roller ball things that they will also do on the face. And at this point, I'm just saying yes. And I don't know why, because I feel bad saying no. Then doing the trim or doing the facial, all that. Yeah, there's like these roller balls that are cold after doing the hot towel. Like, it's freaking amazing, right?
This is the very first day, guys. And let me just interrupt real quick and say, I was going to go to Tangled Salon, and because I didn't want the blowout, but I'm like, if they could, whoever, like just shampoo me and do like, I don't know, maybe a hair mask or and I could leave wet, almost like the Japanese hair thing they do now, which I want to take Kaylin, and where they just massage and they do all these things to your scalp. That's where I'm like, I wanted to look into that and see how much. Yeah, I was like, nope, can't do that now.
So what happened was,
Jeremy's saying yes to everything.
So she's doing the facial and stuff, and then I have psoriasis, right? And I have some small patches up on my head at my hairline. And she notices, well, what is this? And I say, it's psoriasis. So she has some things that will help that along with on my scalp. So next thing I know, I've added a full scalp massage to this as well, using several additional products and whatnot. So we go through all of that. This is a lot of why it was taking so long. And the next thing I know, she's like, get up. We need to go wash your hair out. We walk across to the Tangled Salon, and I get full shampoo and all that stuff, right? So then we come back, and what happened was she had used these products and beard oil and stuff on my scalp, and she's telling me about them. She's like, okay, here is it reminded me of the video that came up the other day of Lacey when she was young in the oil, when you do the oil in her hair and brush it. She's like, you put some here and here, and then you brush here. So she's telling me, she's like, here's what you need to do to help with your scalp.
Are you using this?
And
Are you doing this at home?
Yes, I have. And I did every day on the ship. She says, here's what you need to do. First of all, here's how you do the beard oil. And she, just because I'm an idiot, I put my hand out with the palm up, and she's like, no. And she turns my hand over and just puts like a little dab just to feel the oil on the back of my hand. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's happening here, man. And she's like, okay, so you need to use this, and you use it every day. And if you take a bath at night, you can put a capful in there. She's doing this and this. At this point, I had no idea I was purchasing it. I didn't know what was happening until I got 2 separate receipts, which when you added the 2 together came out to almost $400. And so that is my story.
Day one, folks. Day one. We embarked at 4:30 to 4:45.
And by 6:30, I'd already spent $400 on my face.
And we are not drinking anymore.
No. But look at how much money we saved by not drinking, Rhonda.
It all went to your face.
I bet in the end we still came out on top. And
I didn't get a nice massage and a nice.
You did though.
Okay.
Because
okay.
No, but I have to say, in all honesty, they're very, very good salespeople. They will upsell you on everything. Honestly, just pay attention. I was not paying good enough attention. I was in a trance from this full hot and cold facial and scalp massage and everything.
But I will say I'm very happy and glad he got to experience this, to be 1,000% honest.
This was another stepping out of my comfort zone situation, which I'm trying to do more of. And
it was just funny. And also the time, I just was like, again, I understand being a hairdresser in a hairdresser time world. Yeah. If somebody says 30 minutes, it could be 2 hours. Sure. I'll be like telling Jeremy, I'll leave in, 30 minutes. And then, an hour or so later. So I'm truly kidding because I can get it all the time. Like I'm fine.
But this is worth looking into and an experience.
Was it worth it?
I mean, I obviously wouldn't do that whole thing again.
Would you?
I would if I had the money. Walking out of there, if I was rich, I would get that done every single week of my life because it was incredible. For 1.5 hours, I did something I almost never do.
Yeah.
1, I didn't touch my phone or look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
2, I
was
relaxed.
messaging you. Yeah.
I relaxed. 3, I was able to get into a headspace where I did not wander. My mind didn't go off in a million directions. I did develop a new idea for a podcast with my friend Sean that I have to talk to him about. But other than that, I was so focused and I was just so relaxed. You don't have to go there and get all this done. And obviously don't get upsold. But
leave out the product. Would you do this beard trim again?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
Yeah.
And that came in around $200 for the beard trim, the facial, the scalp massage. All of that came in close to $200. Knowing that we tend to do a Disney cruise every other year, yes, 100% I would do it again. Yeah. I would allow the other $200 I spent in products for you to go get something lovely done to yourself because I do feel bad, but I was schnookered a little bit. It was a little bit of bait and switch. I didn't know what was going on, but it set me up perfectly for our couples massage to not get sold on extra items there. So
I was proud of you.
Weekend before, my brother and kids and my dad were in town. The 5 cousins had not been together in quite some time, and my dad had not seen all 5 of them together at the same time in quite some. So they came down, they visited, and we were literally heading to Fort. They came Friday to Sunday. We're heading down to Fort Lauderdale Sunday that they left that morning and all. And my brother Alan was asking about the cruise and some stuff we were doing, and we were telling him we're going to do Enchanté, and I started talking about a massage, and it's like we've never done a massage. As you know, I'm not really keen on being touched by strangers, other folks in general. I'm finally kind of coming around to hugs. Like I give people hugs. It's not usually my decision to. It's theirs, but I accept it, and I don't feel weird about it as much anymore. So I'm not big on that, and so I'd never had one done. And we're talking to my brother, and we're like, we had looked at a couples massage. and possibly doing one and just, again, stepping out of my comfort zone. But they're like $350, $400 or something. And, we're just chatting. And then I had to go take him to the hotel that night. And he was like, hey, man, if you want to do a couples massage, he's like, I'll pay for it. Happy 20th anniversary. And so I was like, all right, if we're ever going to do it, this is the time to do it, because I don't know if it's something that we would have wanted to pay out of our own pocket for, especially when I was off getting $400 beard treatments. I didn't know that at the time. But so I went ahead, I booked one for that Friday at 6:45 p.m., our last day on the boat, for a couples massage at Senses Spa.
Yep.
You want to take it from here and kind of getting to Senses and showing up?
Yeah, because we did the one.
Every last bit of it is about as awkward as it could humanly be for me.
It's normal, for us or me.
Yeah.
And they give you a robe, of course, and flip-flops, and you get a locker, and you want to take everything off because it's a massage.
Yeah. Well, here's what I find, and I understand you have to do it this way. I kind of wish they had a couple's changing room, because they're like, oh, you're here for your couple's massage? Well, immediately I would like for you two to go sit in separate rooms, and we're not going to tell you when we're coming to get you. You just got to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your phone's going to be in a locker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to go into these. So you go into the changing room. First of all, they gave me the biggest robe they have, and I think the smallest flip-flops. So I don't know what kind of disproportion they think my body is, but I was a little offended, because this robe could have fit someone who was about 7'3" and weighed 350. So this thing is just, I'm engulfed in this. And then an inch of my heels are hanging off the back of these disposable, basically, flip-flops, right? But I go in. So I go in and I change. First of all, I'm texting you. Well, your phone's already away. And I'm like, what am I getting down to? I'm not getting naked. Like, am I supposed to keep my underwear on? Because I'm sorry. I think it would be extremely awkward if I then walked into the room and they're like, yeah, we're going to leave. You're going to remove your robe. And I'm just junkanoo all over the place, right? So I'm like, but I'm texting you. I'm like, do I leave my bot? What do I do? Because if it was my choice, I would have kept on jeans and a long sleeve shirt. But you're not. I know you're not allowed to do that.
Oh God.
So anyway, so I get into my robe, kept my boxers on, and then you just go sit in a room and you have to fill out this questionnaire. And it's like, well, what parts of your body should it be worked on? And I'm like, well, all of it. I've never had a massage, right?
Oh God.
So anyway, so we get in our robes and we sit in the consultation room, I guess they call it, right?
Yeah.
Which is like a little circular. Thank God there was nobody else in there, because talk about awkward. Just me and some rando sitting next to me in his robe, and I would be there the whole time like, well, is he got boxers on or is this guy naked? Right?
You're gonna ask.
That'd be good. So what'd you leave on under there? And then I just take mine off. Are we supposed to be naked? All right. Can we hold these?
Oh God.
So anyway, they come and get us and take us into the room, right? And then what? Well, how do you want to explain the massage?
Oh, well, you have two massage tables next to each other. And, then they talk with you for a little bit, and they actually talk separately, and I'm listening over kind of to Jeremy, because that's
Could
just
you
the way
hear?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. We were like 4 feet apart from each other. I could not hear a thing that was happening on your side of the room.
Oh, really?
It was
I
crazy.
Could, but
okay.
But that's just the way I'm tuned.
Right.
And I'm like listening, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't say yes to everything on this.
I said no to any additional
They did
things.
have additional things like for $19 and, and whatever. And
I did get one $19 add-on. I forget what it was.
You did?
Yeah. I forget what it was. I thought she told me I should, because I sit at a computer desk all day.
Oh, gosh.
She probably knows better than I do. It was $19. That's
I was going to too, but I said no.
You should have.
Anyways.
Alan was paying.
So, of course, if anybody knows a massage, then they leave the room and they tell you to get, take the robe off and get under the sheet. So, I explained how to for Jeremy, because then we're in there by ourselves, and I take my robe off, and of course I just have my underwear on. And because they are going to massage literally everything.
Except for the middle region.
Right. Well,
except for the boxer area, the boxers area, I'll call it.
Right. But sometimes they will go into your glutes. So anyways, again, that's, what I do. And with all this being said, you get under and you're face down, and then I'm like, basically you put your arms back behind you, and I'm telling him this, and then they walk in, and
at this point you have no idea that there's another human being getting massaged in the room.
That's true.
Like a couple's massage, you're face down in this donut hole the whole time.
Yeah.
You have no idea there's another person, which kind of takes the couples out of massaging.
Well, and then halfway through they roll you over.
Yeah.
And of course, when they roll you over, they hold the sheet up basically over their face, look away. And then
all of this feels like you're a cadaver getting from a medical examiner, because literally the sheet is up to your neck, and then they just pull back when they need to get to parts.
Yep.
Like they're like, okay, we're gonna pull out the heart. Like it was weird, man. And
that's normal.
hey, try being 6'3", 200 pounds, and rolling over at that table and hoping that you don't knock the whole sheet off. I'd like to see you do that.
Well,
that's not easy.
I was fine. And anyways, and then you roll over. Well, then they put a mask basically over your face.
Like a weighted mask.
Yeah, it was great. It was nice.
Warm.
I was a little concerned about my eyelashes, but it was fine, which was good, because my mask I sleep with at night has cushion and kind of, Jeremy calls it my VR mask. But anyways.
It looks like an Oculus that you sleep in at night.
And then they massage your top area, and of course not on a woman anywhere that a bathing suit covers, and a
bathing
full
suit area.
piece
That's a good call. That's what it should be
bathing
called.
suit area.
Yeah. Well, same for me. It was as though I was wearing a full piece bathing suit, because they weren't touching my pectorals, which are under here somewhere. It was here's what, and I didn't tell you this part because I wanted to wait to share some things. So it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Yes, it was.
I've never had a massage in my life.
At the end, and are you going to tell that part?
I will tell that part too at the end here. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, they massaged muscles I didn't even know I had. Like you could feel, like the rest of the night. It was weird. The rest of the night, my body felt drunk because it was so just loose and relaxed. Like for the rest of the night and the next day coming, like
good.
The car ride home, being in I don't like sitting in a car for 4 hours, and I had my seat moved up some to leave some parents space in the back of the car. Like I was comfortable the whole ride home. Just my body, it was amazing. But when they started massaging and she was doing I was on my front still, and they're doing your up, your lower back all the way up to like your neck and stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought she was on the side of me. And so I'm trying to figure out this whole time, like, how are they maneuvering their body to have such even distribution? And what keeps touching the top of my head until I realized they were above me, reaching down. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just,
and she was probably using her forearms because
probably
you have to.
Yeah. But
in a massage.
I gotta say, I can finally get it in my head. Like, look, who cared? Look, nobody wants to see me in my boxers. Okay. We'll just get it out there. Nobody wants to see this. Right. I'm lucky you do sometimes. But I just got my head like, you know what? I'm never going to see these people again. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. And I'm learning to let a lot of that stuff go. Good. So to be able to sit there and relax. And again, my mind wasn't wandering. It is, the smells that they're pumping through the room are so relaxing. The sound and the trickles of water or whatever is happening.
Right. Except the kid running.
Oh, yeah. So there's like a kids club, I think, right above Senses. So you can hear children stomping.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
That part seemed really weird on the layout.
It was are you sure it's a club? I think
not.
it was just.
You think it was just a
child possibly running?
Yeah, it might be part of the pool deck area.
I think it's part of the room, or I don't know.
Rooms. Anyway,
I don't know.
It was interesting, but at the end, and I'm so glad that Lucy tipped me off to this. At the end, they do take your hands and hold them together, which if you don't know that's coming, can be a bit alarming because you. And here's the thing, at that point, I'm so relaxed and I'm just covered in oil or whatever the heck they're putting on me that it was hard to determine when they let their hand go. And it was just the two of ours. It kind of just felt like one cohesive unit. I don't know. But it was absolutely amazing. It ended up being $245 a person, roughly.
No, I feel like it was almost $299 a person.
I think we still came out under $500 though.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, but for both of us. Well, I guess I've done a lot of the talking, but How was it for you? Did you enjoy it?
Here's the hard part being a hairdresser. I technically need it more often. So yes, it was wonderful doing that. Getting to enjoy that with you. I just, unfortunately, because of the way my body works and everything, I don't, my body doesn't get to feel like yours where it's strong. I think it immediately kind of like,
it's all gone now.
Tenses back up.
Yeah.
/ it just does what it's, and I could feel her rubbing over that. Like, I know, like they're there. Yeah. They're there. I feel like and I did, like, I've had people tell me, you really should have one once a month. And I'm like, I know, but I can't. And / I just don't.
Well, at the end too, they're like, I almost give you like a lecture. They're like, you two need to be doing this every night. You need to be massaging each other, this, that, and all.
Oh, I know.
And we're all just sitting there going, yeah. Yeah. And then we leave, we're like, I'm never doing any of that stuff.
And then trying
like,
to sell the oil.
Then they try to say, and I said no.
I'm very proud of
me.
you. Yeah. And I said no, but yeah, it was great.
Was this worth doing on?
No, not on a ship for me.
Even once.
I mean, yeah, maybe once.
I think the experience, again, if you have the money budgeted, or you have a brother who is so nice to offer, obviously, to do this for
I personally would do like a facial. Mm-hmm. Or I would do, like, I wouldn't ever get my nails done because I already get my nails done, and I wouldn't ever get a pedicure unless I just did wait for that. I would possibly do a pedicure. I'm trying to think of things like that, like for me personally. Yes, I think if a massage is something you do and or you would like, then absolutely. But for me, I would prefer to pick like maybe a facial or, something else. So.
I'm really glad we did it. I'm glad that that's the first massage I did, because if I get another one, I won't ever do it on a ship again. There's just no reason to spend that extra money.
Because it's so expensive.
Right. There's not a reason. Right. And, if I get another one, it's going to cost so much less, obviously, where I wouldn't want to do it the other way around. I wouldn't want to do like a massage at a regular place and then go do one on the ship and be like, well, why did this cost twice as much? Yeah. I mean, understandably, it's on a ship, but I'm so glad we did it. I won't do one on a ship again.
Yeah.
But mostly that has to do with cost, not experience or anything.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But you would do another one outside.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like, even if it's just something you and I do once a year, that we say, you know what, around our anniversary once a year, we're going to go to one of the local places here that is reputable.
Massage Envy.
Yeah, Massage Envy or whatever it may be. And we're going to go do a couple's massage or whatever. I could see doing that. All right, let's finish off. We're going to add a couple lightning round sections. First of all, best overall entertainment, Rhonda.
The Marvel thing that we...
Agree, with great power.
So good.
Most overrated. And does it rhyme with...
Gosh.
It's Enchante. I couldn't think of anything that could rhyme with Enchante. Oh. Enchante was so overrated for me. But again, it only comes down to the fact that I don't think we love French food. Most underrated.
I don't know.
I'm not. We did our own. We made it underrated because of our last experience, but I would say Palo Steakhouse Brunch. Because we didn't have the best experience last time. It was like... I wasn't expecting much at all this time.
Yeah.
And absolutely loved it. Best lounge.
Haunted Mansion.
Agreed. Best trivia or game.
Well, I want to say that majority minds because we won.
I say majority minds. One thing you would skip that we did that next time. And it could be the massage. I mean, honestly.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I'd
say the massage.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing you'd repeat immediately.
Oh, I mean the Broadway shows.
Yeah.
Cruella DeVille's.
Yeah. The cruise. The whole
the
thing.
whole thing.
Yeah. Best adult experience. And I'm still going to say the Marvel.
I just started saying. Then can I go back and say the best show was Frozen, and then the best adult experience was Marvel. I didn't know that was on there.
Sure. I think that's fair. Sadly, that is going to wrap up our review of the Disney Destiny. This is the first one you listen to. Go back 2 episodes. You get to hear our thoughts on the ship. Tips before you cruise, tips while you cruise. Episode right before this one was all about dining. You get to hear our lovely thoughts on Enchante and wet caterpillars. So go back, listen to that one. If you want to hear more about everything we got coming up, next episode, we're going to go back to our new Truth or Dare, and we are going to do the Resorts Edition. We're going to have a little bit of fun.
Oh, fun.
Off the cuff there. Go ahead and hit us up on social. Follow us, Main ST Magic. Learn about some cool things coming up. And, of course, if you want these episodes every single Tuesday and Friday, you got to hit subscribe. And both Rhonda and I would be very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got, and we'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.